Mike, here's what I want to do.
Yes.
I want to take a break, and then I'm going to come back with fitness and diet talk.
Let's do it.
All right, be right back. Mike Catherwood joins me on the Doctor Podcast. Those swinging sounds are available on iTunes. Also, The Boy with the Gun, Brandon Stogsdill, the guy that comes visits on Loveline.
Yes.
We put his book up on the website for him and had him in here a couple times tell his story.
I would read that.
Yeah, it's a great book. I put the forward in it. Also, everybody, please remember to support the people that support us here at the Pirate Ship. Adam, you can now take the gun away, and I've said it.
Okay. Yeah, make sure you plug them.
It's quite an empire here, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. It really is. I mean, not just the cars and all the accoutrement.
He's building another warehouse nearby too.
But I mean, just the quality of the team of producers and the equipment and everything. It really is just it really is amazing what he's been able to accomplish.
It's an empire. So, Mike, let's talk about diet and nutrition.
All right.
What do you want to get into? There's so much. Here's one thing. Somebody asked me on Twitter, what's your sort of my sort of workout policy or philosophy, or what do I do? What's your basic workout routine or something? And I thought about twittering back.
Yeah,
lift heavy weights.
Yeah,
that's it.
People really should do that. People that come up to me, they're like, "I'm a long distance runner," and I'm like, "Oh, it's good, and if you enjoy it, but." If your main goal is to be in good shape and to have a pleasing physique, then you're really not doing much for it. And if you
this
can,
men and women,
if you can really put discipline yourself into devoting a lot of time to lifting heavy weights in a safe and reasonable fashion.
A lot of time meaning 40 minutes, 5 days a week.
The overwhelming majority
4
of
days
people, 3 days a week.
3 days a
week. Unless you're a high-level athlete competing, or you've got years and years of training behind you, you have to really kind of devote, you don't have to devote that much time. And also, exercise selection's another thing. People go bonkers.
All right, so let's say an hour 3 days a week on the average person.
Yeah.
I like 4 days a week because you can do 2 different body parts on each.
Yeah. But you're a guy who's been lifting weights for a long time.
Forever.
So most people don't have to devote.
So they do the entire body 3 days.
Here's my big piece of advice. If I had to give one piece of advice, if you really don't like doing it, do that exclusively.
do what you don't like.
Yeah,
but then people won't do it. Is the problem? I would say do what you do like.
Here's
you'll
the thing.
Do it.
No, because people would. You know what they do like? They like going and doing ab machines in 40 minutes on a treadmill.
Yeah.
Or like an elliptical. And no one ever makes any type of gains in their development, and then they get all pissy, and then they spin their wheels, and they have a weekend where they eat nothing but pizza and flaming hot Cheetos, and it's this vicious cycle of frustration and hatred towards yourself.
Yeah. So let's go over the basic exercises we think that people ought to do. Men and women, I can think.
Yeah.
We ought to do every body part.
Yeah.
Chest, just a fly and a press.
I don't even bench press anymore.
No, I mean a press, like a dumbbell press.
Any press, yeah.
Inclined, flat, doesn't matter?
I say, honestly, you can pare it down to 4 exercises. Really, you can.
Per body part.
No, total. I'm telling you. Unless you have, corrective flaws that need to be taken care of. I add in different stuff because my shoulders are still hunched forward from overpressing, and so I do other corrective stuff to pull my shoulders back. But outside of that, deadlifts, chin-ups or pull-ups, dips, and maybe some overhead pressing work.
So I'm not sure I would have joint problems with the dips.
I mean, and
because when you say dips, again, it's heavy. It's with weight.
I put 100-pound dumbbells around my waist with a belt and
my shoulder and elbows wouldn't handle it. So I say an incline, a flat, and a fly.
Yeah,
with a bar, preferably dumbbells. Incline, flat, fly. That's chest. Back, pull up, pull in, pull down.
Yeah, but if you can do pull-ups
with a lot of weight,
then do pull-up. Honestly,
pull up in, then a bar.
People,
how about pull up, pull in?
People waste so much time. They ask me how to train their biceps, and I'm like, how many chin-ups can you do? And he's like, I can't do any.
Yeah.
And I'm like, listen, you shouldn't be doing any barbell curls until you can do chin-ups to with body weight, you should be able to, a grown man, like a real man, you should be able to do at least 15 chin-ups.
Yeah.
And that means with your palms facing.
Yeah.
And then guys are like, hey, guns, man, how do you get the gun? I was like, I don't even train my arm. I do weighted chin-ups, and my triceps get plenty of work from heavy dips. My arms get plenty of work from heavy chin-ups.
I say pull up, pull in.
Yeah.
I also do two different kind of curls, like a kettle, a curve bar and a dumbbell.
Cambered bar, yeah.
Yeah, and with a bench, so you isolate it. I do a French curl. What do you call these things?
Overhead
press.
Tricep extension, yes.
And a press down.
Yes.
So two each for each body, arm part. And then some legs and some abs.
Yeah.
And
well, here's the thing. Also, is that you're pointing out something very like what you do.
Shoulder press.
What you do is very good and tailored
flies.
towards your goals. Like you're really concerned about just your physique and making sure that you maintain muscle tone. So hypertrophy is definitely something that you're interested in. It's not. I mean, I don't want to wake up sore because I want to be able to climb ropes and fight dudes every day. I train in different various combat sports 3-4 times a week. So the idea of doing 8, 12 plus reps of something that is isolating to a body part to me, it doesn't interest me whatsoever. I have to work on power endurance and
Did it ever
strength.
Interest you? Or?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When I was in bodybuilding, I mean, that was all I concerned myself with.
When
I wasn't in the gym, when I was like really seriously pursuing bodybuilding, which I didn't do very long, I trained in the gym. I'd lift weights, and everything was, to the rep was monitored.
Yeah.
And then when I was not in the gym, I absolutely kicked my feet up and I wanted to exert no energy.
Wow.
So that every calorie and every amino acid I ate was devoted to like rebuilding my body.
Oh, that's interesting. I do it because it feels good and I like it.
Yeah.
I get something out of it. I just feel like I get something out of it.
Yeah.
It's just I always go, when people take me out of that zone, I don't like it. I don't feel good.
Listen, find an intention, make a goal, and follow it. People get so crazy and they get so mixed up. Like they want to be able to run a marathon and bench press 350 pounds, and it's the two don't. Like if you want to be a power lifter, be a power lifter. You want to be a bodybuilder, be a bodybuilder. You want to be an endurance athlete, be an endurance athlete. If you want to be a MMA fighter or something that is a mixed sport, football player, MMA, and other combat sports, boxing, whatnot, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, then you got to pursue you got to peek into every arena and you got to learn how to do it safely and wisely, because following the Dr. Drew kind of hypertrophy bodybuilding thing and then trying to go and hit the pads for 3 rounds, you'll die.
Yeah.
Your heart will jump out of your chest.
Yes.
And
how about diet? What are the basic diet tenets?
People eat too goddamn much.
Yeah. So
even guys
less.
who are trying to bulk up eat too goddamn much. They
eat less.
They eat too many calories with too little nutrients. That's the biggest problem with Americans today. Even like bodybuilders and like highly trained guys, they eat too goddamn much with too little content.
So give me an average three good meals a day that would be satisfying and sort of average.
And 6 ounces. Okay. 6 ounces of some type of green cruciferous vegetable for your first 2 meals.
Why just 6 ounces? Couldn't you have unlimited amounts?
You could, but I mean, most people just 6 ounces of raw broccoli is a lot when you actually get it on the skip. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Something that would fill you. For chicks, 3 to 4 ounces of animal protein. For guys, 5 to 6
per day,
per meal.
Per meal,
yeah.
Animal protein includes dairy, eggs.
I like dairy protein. I know a lot of people are against it, but I think like quality dairy protein, the cottage,
are good.
The cottage cheese, the full fat yogurts, Greek yogurts and stuff. I think that's.
In fact,
excellent.
We were talking to your friend Lyle McDonald,
Mm-hmm.
and he was saying that the cheeses for the older folks tends to improve the delivery of amino acids.
Something to do with the breakdown of casein to whey.
So I applied that, started eating a little more cheese. I noticed a difference a little bit.
And it does vary. Type of cheese, like some
cheese
have better amino acid profiles.
I think you said the older cheese, aged cheeses,
and the stinkier cheese because they're cultured, I guess. But serving of good animal protein, and if you're a vegan, like you're gonna have to work around that. I mean, it is. Here's the thing. In the long run, is there going to be some health benefit, and is there an overwhelming kind of moral justification for doing it? Yes, and I'm not trying to shit on vegans, but it is certainly not the easiest or wisest way to get to a beautiful physique. That is for sure. Endurance athletes and things like that, veganism is perfectly applicable. If you're looking to just get 6-pack abs and your road to doing it is veganism, it's going to be a longer road than someone who eats fish and chicken. It just is.
Do you watch fat intake?
I don't, because I tend to, me personally, my metabolism really responds better to higher healthy fats and lower carbohydrate intake. I knew guys. Here's a perfect example of how just unbelievably unique people's metabolisms are.
Yeah.
I trained
this is the
for
part everyone misses too.
I
by
trained
the way.
for
everyone wants a diet for them.
Right.
Everyone's different.
when I was like roided out and really into bodybuilding, I would start at about 215, 220 pounds, and I would diet down to about 180, 185.
Jesus.
I would try to get into contest shape at 185. And I had a guy who trained alongside me. We worked out together. We had the same nutritionist and guy helping us prepare for the same show on the same day, and he was dieting from the same weight down to the same weight. He would eat, going into the show, was eating 300 plus grams of carbs a day. We were the same age, same size, and everything. I was eating under 30.
Wow.
And it was just, and my brain still felt okay and sharp. If he dipped below a couple hundred, he was like, he'd freak out.
Yeah.
But I was eating 150, 200 grams of fat a day.
Where do you get the good fats? What kind?
Obviously, fatty fish is number one. And if you don't like fish, supplement salmon, mackerel, things that are really dense with the omega-3s are proven. And if you don't eat fish, make sure you supplement with
avocado.
Avocado is great. The monounsaturated fats are the next, very close second to the omega-3s. So the monounsaturated are going to be almonds, olive oil, avocado. Those are all great, and they're really helpful to your metabolism. And I like to mix in a lot of healthy saturated fats. In the 80s, the anti kind of fat world, they went overboard with the anti-saturated fat. Not all saturated fat is a bad thing.
What do you add in?
Coconut, medium chain triglycerides, anything like that, which would be.
Can you just keep the chicken skin on?
To me, I like to separate when I'm eating lean protein, things that I consider lean: eggs, egg whites. So instead of eating whole eggs, I'll eat egg whites and add medium chain triglyceride oil, or I'll eat egg whites and add olive oil. So I get to kind of manipulate the type of fats that I want in my body, as opposed to eating thicker, heavier cuts of meat and just kind of being reliant on what's inside that.
If you're
going
to eat red meat, any special type?
Flank steak's cheap and it's good. It's lean.
No grass fed or
buffalo. I think that's all. Again, if that's your choice for moral or social reasons, more power to you. But I love buffalo. Ground buffalo is a great meat. Yeah, and any game meat, I'm always a big fan of. A lot of people don't like it. Yeah, but to see, ostrich and venison, things like that, are incredibly dense with nutrients and zinc and nice things that are very helpful to a high-functioning body.
All right.
Yeah. Here's the big thing, is that it is inconvenient. To be healthy...
It's not just inconvenient. You have to focus.
Yeah.
You have to pay attention.
To be healthy, truly healthy.
It's easier just to put some Oreos in your mouth.
And don't confuse... Here's another thing, a little takeaway message. Don't confuse diet foods with health foods and vice versa.
Yeah.
There is two separate categories, and granted, yes, if you had them on a Venn diagram, healthy foods and diet foods, there is a middle ground where things like chicken breast and broccoli fall in. But there are things that are very healthy that are not good for a diet. There are things that are very good for a diet that are fucking unhealthy. And don't confuse the two. Low-fat yogurt with... a bunch of sugar, but it's only 90 calories. Yeah, it may be great for some chick who doesn't eat, a lot, and you want to stay skinny. It's not very healthy. Half a bag of macadamia nuts is very dense and healthy, has a lot of good for you, but it's a terrible thing to do if you're on a diet because it's going to be about 3,000 calories.
Although it might, if you could limit the amount, it might suppress your appetite.
Exactly.
So it's about how you use these things too become a big issue.
Yes.
Mike Catherwood, thank you so much for joining me today on the podcast. You can see us, you hear us on Loveline Sunday through Thursday, 10 to midnight. Go to lovelineshow.com if you want to get downloads or we'll have a click through on my website, drdrew.com, or on Ustream. You can watch the show. And, of course, the Swinging Sounds that you're listening to right now are available through iTunes. Please support the people that support the Pirate Ship, and we'll see you next time.
This is Corolla Digital.